Morning. What you doing? What you doing? Bruce. Everybody's here. What you think? Oh, sorry. Got him with my sleeve. He didn't like it. We need a bucket up here, Tina. We need a bucket. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Morning, everybody. Chad, Adler Farms. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. It's a beautiful day yesterday. Hey, we're eating in the trough. Yep, people get mad when I feed you on the ground. You know who you are. All right. They don't know what to do. You guys are silly. Woo! Listen, you guys go eat in the trough. There's plenty of room. It's only 2 little goats and a chicken. All right, who else needs food? June, you're kind of crowding me there. Hang on. What you been doing, buddy? You been in the hay? He was half in the hay ring when I pulled up. But let's get the truck out of here. You guys are kind of making me nervous. Yeah. Hey, calm down. All right. So last time we all talked, hang on, let it get done beeping. There we go. Last time we talked, it was like, it wasn't quite freezing rain, but it was pretty close. It was 45 and raining and windy, and Jared couldn't even get out here. 2 days off on the pond build. But yesterday, Wednesday, Jared was able to come out here and get it going again. And what's nice is he was not able to get in the pond. Oh, let me rephrase that. He was not able to get in the pond, but he came out and stirred up a whole bunch of dirt that was really, really dry. And this is that sweet science I keep telling you guys about that Jared's got mastered. When you're plowing that much dry dirt, it kind of rolls as you plow it, and it doesn't want to like take the shape you want it to. Like if you're shoving it towards a low spot, it'll like roll right in the low spot and right out, because it's just so dry. It's like, man, I don't even know how to describe it. Like beach sand almost. With those 2 days of rain, what he was able to do, I'm gonna get surrounded here, hang on. Who you talking to? Are you calling him over here? You guys are silly. That's what we're talking about over there though. Let's get some cubes and yeah. You guys hungry? You guys hungry? Woo! All right. So listen, I need to go that way. You're gonna have to back up a little. Hey, lady. Yeah, you're gonna have to back up. All right, let's go this way. Hang on. Make a big circle. Look out. You guys make me so nervous. Woo! Hang on. Look out. There we go. Okay. We're spread out a little ways. Look out. Watch out. Donkeys. Hup. Get on. The donkeys do not need these cubes. It will make you guys even heavier. There's nothing in there. Sorry, that's a mean trick, but you walked up to it. Sorry. Nope. Yeah. Lo siento. Move along. Nope. Yeah, we're gonna have to get the Highlands and the steers a place where they can eat without y'all rushing them. Yep. Might seem cruel. I know some of you guys are like, hey, get those donkeys some carrots, get them a treat, get them this. Listen, they're okay. They got a ton of hay. They're able to reach even higher than the cows when it comes to brush. But these cubes are not healthy for the donkeys. Not healthy. This one's the only one that really has a problem. Are you shocked? Are you surprised? These two over there, they listen, they move along. Little donk though, nope. Speaking of separating things, one of these two, I don't think it was her. One of these two knocked down the hot wire up front around the hay. Probably because this one was in there eating. Started eating in our round bales pretty good, which we have ordered more hay, so it's not a huge deal. They didn't eat the wrap, they just chewed around it, like they ate off the end of the bale. But in doing so, it compromised the wrap, which of course protects it from the elements. And then the bale's kind of, like you kind of want to feed it to them now. So I'm gonna have to basically scrap nearly 2 bales. The drought just kind of snuck up on me. They had plenty to eat, but since Jared's been doing his work and we had it brush hogged, they've kind of run out of things to eat. Now we have plenty of hay. Remember, they survive all winter on hay, and there's people with winters that are 6 months longer than ours. So it's totally normal to live on hay. It's no big deal, but we'll take care of it. But what I was saying is to separate things. Today, I have to put panels around that hay. I got to keep them out. Bruce gets in there and eats it, and he can probably still get through those panels, but like, how much is Bruce really gonna eat, you know? But the donkeys get in there and knock down the hot wire, and then the cows step over it. They walk in. See, you're a stinker. Move along. Goodness. So anyway, dumping 2 piles doesn't work because then they just go between the piles and they still fight. They don't really need this. This is just a supplement for their hay. I don't give it to them every day. I usually only do it when I'm here filming. So 3 days a week they get cubes. Y'all are silly. Silly. Let's check the egg situation. I did not collect eggs yesterday, so it's highly possible we have quite a few. Let's look here. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, lady. 5, 6, 7, 8. Boy, those are huge eggs. 9, 10, 11, 12. Whew. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, thank you. I don't always give them an egg. I usually just do it when you guys are watching. But other than some of the grain that the chickens might eat inside the alpaca trough, they're free range. Like, they don't, and you can see they're already down here, but those chickens live on bugs and grass and anything they can find out here, and an egg or two a couple times a week. Their yolk is almost orange, which is a sign of a free range chicken. And their shells are very, very hard, very sturdy. Which, by the way, we actually had probably a 6-foot black snake the other night after Jared got done dozing. Being that he was 6 foot and only about 100 feet from the coop, we did dispatch him. A 6-foot black snake is pretty intimidating. And Ray did grab his tail. She's not near as afraid of him as I am. And he turned and wanted to snap at her. So we did dispatch him. I know some people are going to be upset about that, but as Jared's been dozing, he's been seeing plenty of snakes, and they're usually king snakes or common garter snake. As long as they're not around the pond or the chicken coop, we leave them alone. And I think that's why we don't have rats or mice in our cabin, because they handle the snakes handle the rats and mice out here. So we were also, I noticed like last week before we found that black snake, that I had like 8 eggs on a couple of days when I didn't collect the day before, which means he may have been in the coop. There was also a lot more feathers scattered everywhere inside the coop, which he wasn't, there's no way he could have eaten the chicken. But if he went in there and startled them and they flap about and do what chickens do and go crazy, feathers fall out. That's kind of a sign of that. We also had a couple of eggs broken, which is not normal. I know some of you guys are like, they break your eggs if you feed them eggs. They can't. I've thrown eggs 100 times on video and it doesn't break when it hits the ground. Like I've gone to feed the chickens an egg it bounces off the grass and doesn't break. They can't break it. The shells are too stout. So something was getting in there, because since I've taken out that black snake, I'm getting 10 to 12 eggs again a day. Plus there's no eggs broken. Man, y'all clean your plate good. Yeah, move along, move along. Here's some. All right. There you go, buddy. Knock, knock. Atta boy. Young lady. Woo! Watching pearly whites. Hi, mama. You want her? Atta girl. Atta girl. Donkeys. No. 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 Got a good video for you guys today. So stay put, okay? We're just getting the chores out of the way. But let me go show you what Jared did yesterday. And this video, we gotta take out that tree, okay? Now Jared can do it with his dozer. I'm gonna leave about 2 feet of the stump because that makes it easier for the dozer. Not that this dozer, I mean, the dozer can do it just fine. But I'll leave about, I don't know, 2 feet, maybe 18 inches of the stump. That way it's easier for him to just pull or get the stump out. Because he's gonna take out that stump right there, this stump right here as well. This tree has to come out. It ruined our septic tank. Let me see if I can show you guys that. Last time I was over here, I couldn't get the lid off of the tank anymore. But that tree grew into our septic tank. So we're not gonna use this tank, but I do believe that the leach field and the lateral lines are still intact. We would ultimately like to dig up this end where the outlet is to the leach field, cut it off, make it clean, then lift the tank out, and then reuse this hole. Come on, you can do it. Hey-oh, we got it. Oh, gee whiz, wrong arm to do that with. All right. Hey, don't come over here, it's poopy, it's stinky. So I don't think I can see the roots anymore because of the rain we got. Hey, look out, ninja. Whew. You guys are stealthy for big girls. See that bulge? That's not supposed to be there. It actually goes all the way down. And there's just roots completely invaded it. So, thanks to that tree, we need a new septic tank. So it's got to come out. My brother hit it with the skid steer. It is an eastern white pine. It is really, really pretty. It is a rather large tree, and that root system, we need to be able to cut the tree and then cut the root system as well before we put a tank in. So anyway, it's got to go. We're going to do that today. We didn't touch the pond yesterday because it was still too wet. Today he's going to be able to get in there and get started on, I believe, taking that little bank out or smoothing that bank out. And then I think at some point he'll maybe close this off. He'll get all this water over here. He'll close this off and let that water come all the way over here. So that'll be pretty cool. We'll be sure and get that. Yesterday he had a bearing go out on the front of the dozer. But it powers the fan, which keeps everything cool, I believe. It's not like a bearing on a track or something. But he's fixed one before, no worries. That's why he uses these old machines, because they're easy to work on. He's got a newer one, super fancy, but he's waiting on a part. But as you can tell, the age of that machine doesn't slow him down at all. It's kind of fun to watch because he drives it like it's a stinking automatic car or something. Like there's no pause when he's shifting. You know, and the one time he let me drive it, it's like, so Jared's just like 3 point, I'm out. Anyway, all right, so there's the chicken coop, the trailers, which you normally couldn't see. A week ago, you couldn't see those from where I'm standing. Pond is right there, trees right there, septic's in the ground. And this used to be a massive hill that you could park that dozer on, the other side of it, and that tractor, and you'd barely be able to see the top of that International. That's how big that pile of dirt was right here. So this is just amazing. This is going to be, and many of you have mentioned it, this is gonna, I would be shocked if with 5 head, we can't get enough hay off of this next year for our farm. I mean, we're never going to run 10, 15, 20 head out here. It just won't hold it. So if we can get maybe 20 bales off of it, which isn't unreasonable, especially if you plant right. If we can get 20 bales off of it, that'll do us all winter. Everybody will be healthy and happy. Oh, here's what I do want to show you though. Walk with me. At the end of these videos, while Jared's building this pond, I've got clips and video of Jared building the pond, and they're chronological order from when he gets here in the morning to when he leaves later at night. So if you haven't seen our previous videos, go watch them. You can see what's going on. But hang on, let's get out of here before we sink. All of this dirt right here, this stuff down here, even though it's nice and looks like red clay, which a lot of it is because he did scrape the red clay a little bit on purpose. But a lot of that stuff down there used to be jet black, and it was the muck that was in the bottom of the pond. And this pond, I believe, is only like, I don't know, it might be 10 years old. Whereas this one, I don't know. That pond's been there a long time. And what he's gonna do, he pushed all that muck out here, and then he shoved it over here so it could dry out. I couldn't come over here the other day because it was so wet. But as you know, we had a spillway. Bear with me here. There's remnants of Wally's house. We had a spillway right here, and he's gonna fill this area with all that muck. That's muck from the bottom of the pond. I mean, every bit. See how it's even a different color? Isn't that crazy? That's just sediment for 10 years, basically. And I would imagine there's even more in this side. This pond on the south side, I'm sorry, this pond on the north side of the property is even bigger, probably twice the size of the old pond on the other side of the peninsula. I know it sounds confusing, but remember, we had a peninsula in the middle of a pond that was almost an acre. This side was built 30, 40, 50 years ago. I don't know. The peninsula came to a stop right about here. And then we had the other half of the pond on the south side, and it was much smaller, built 10 years ago. Nothing wrong with it. It was just full of mud and dirt and gross. And when you call somebody that knows what they're doing with a pond, the first thing they're going to do is clean all the muck out, right? Dredge it, which this is way beyond dredging. Saying that Jared dredged this pond is an understatement. It doesn't even touch what he's done. This side, the north side, the older side, I do believe the muck is even thicker because we never saw Fred walk straight across. Fred's part water buffalo, in case you didn't know. Not genetically, that's just what he identifies as. He's part water buffalo. And he loves the water, but I've never seen him walk straight across there. We saw him walk straight across that one, diagonally, catty corner, somersaults, flips, backflips, swan dives, half gator. We saw him do all that stuff over there, but not over here. So I'm guessing the muck was too thick for him to try. When Jared came out the first day and he first started messing with the pond, I was out here that night after he left, and the peninsula was kind of broke up, and I walked out to the end of it to take some video, and Fred tried to go from here to there, which Jared built that, so it's not it's not packed in, it's not permanent. So when Fred hit that, he was like, nope, I know this ain't good. He turned around and went the other way. So I think there's just a lot of muck in there, and of course Fred can sense that. See if I can help you guys get an understanding of how deep this hole is. This is where I was cutting down some trees. You guys watched me. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. But we couldn't even actually get down here because it was so overgrown. But look at how deep this hole is back here. This was the overflow. That is every bit, I know the camera flattens it out, but that's every bit of 20 feet above my head. And I'm not overestimating. That is way up there. So all this muck's gonna come this way. It'll still have a nice gradual grade to it. There's a creek back there, so when it does fill up on our property, our entire property flows this way. No matter where the water hits it, on 20 acres, it goes that way if it doesn't get held up in the pond. He'll maintain a little bit of that for us, but yet also build this dam bigger, which will help the pond. It'll make it healthier. He's smashed everything over here. He's broken the tree roots. Any tree he can get to, he actually takes out, like the whole root ball. There's probably half a dozen of them in that pile over there. So that way, when the tree dies, we don't wind up with you know, holes in the dam. Poor Wally. And this is the last bit of his house right here. That's actually a channel that went up there and went to that hole. But he's not been here. This is just what he smoothed out yesterday. It's pretty cool. And again, if you want to see that footage, it's always at the end. But we're pretty sure this is the future home site. And it's super cool. Man, it's just awesome. Amazing, amazing. And some of you were probably wondering this. After we got about 2 inches of rain, I asked Jared yesterday and I said, how far did the rain soak in? And he said, well, about 6 to 8 inches, which isn't much at all when you've got 12 foot, 20 foot mounds of dirt. What he did a lot of yesterday, which is great. See how this is still pretty wet? This is what he did last. So that sat in the sun. I'm sorry, this didn't sit in the sun as long as this yesterday. If you come look over here, this is the back of the property. There's the deer feeder, so you kind of know where we're at. Man, it just looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. See how that's a little more brown, a little more dried out? He spread all that out, turned it over, worked the wet soil in with the dry soil so that the dry soil would kind of soak in some of that moisture and make it stay put. Now, on top of being a pond guy, calling Jared a pond guy is an understatement, okay? On top of that, he actually farms, meaning he plants or harvests nearly 16,000 acres between, I think he said, South Dakota and Texas, okay? And I believe that's a couple seasons a year. I mean, you got harvest season, planting season, okay? You farmers out there, Jared does almost 16,000 acres. He's got help, of course. His dad was actually here when they brought the dozer out, so I got to meet him. So howdy, bud. Some of you guys, myself included, and my dad actually being a big-time yard guy, green lawn, right? We're trying to decide what we can plant out here. Now, we're not going to get a whole lot of rainy days between now and winter. It'll either be so cold that it snows, or because it is cold, if it does rain, it's just rain. It's not like a summer rain where hot and cold air mix and torrential downpour. So Jared mentioned, I'm gonna have to ask him again, but he mentioned the type of seed we can put out here that's kind of it'll come up one time and it'll hold this grass, it'll hold the dirt, so we don't lose it all this winter if we do get a lot of rain or like a flash flood. I know rye is an option. Basically, I'm assuming what he's talking about is like a cover crop. It's just going to develop a good root system, and then, come this spring, if and when once we have a tractor, right, we can maybe disc it, turn it over, plant it. I've actually got a really nice pull-behind ATV feeder spreader that'll throw probably 40, 50 feet in every direction. I mean, just a few passes out here, we can cover this whole patch. Let me know your thoughts on what to plant down here. What can we use? What's the best thing to use? I know Jared knows anything I'd want to ask him, but feel free to put your comments down below. And by the way, thank Jared again. He always reads these comments. Jane, his girlfriend, she's usually out here with him watching. Just tell him thanks. They read the comments and check, and they sincerely appreciate it. It means a whole lot to them. 2 of you guys have actually emailed us and asked for Jared's information. And then another YouTuber or Facebooker, they're on both, reached out to me and said, I need that guy's information. Sweet. He would sincerely appreciate that. So we've already lined up 3 jobs, which is a big deal, a huge deal. So very excited about that. You guys will not be disappointed hiring Jared. You got the chaps on. Got the saw fueled and oiled. Time to take that tree out. I don't think we're going to take this silver maple. I don't think we're going to take it out yet. No, let's leave it. I'm not too worried about it. But again, the reason we want to take out this eastern pine, the reason we want to take that out is it's leaning, if you can't tell. And I truly think that had a lot to do with the winds that we got back in May and June that brought all that warm weather all year, all summer. This ground was really, really wet, really, really damp. And we had some super high winds. And I think it just started to lean. There's 2 right there. There's 1 right there. And there's no sense in not taking that tree out and letting him go ahead and do that stump as well, because it's nothing for his dozer. I mean, just pulls them out, gets the whole root ball, takes care of the septic issues. He's going to take out that little Bradford. Thank you, cowboy. He's gonna take out that little Bradford pear right there. And yeah, I think that's it. And then of course he's gonna clean all that up as well and leave the oak trees. I got quite the audience, a bunch of helpers, none of them with thumbs to call 911. There's no doubt in my mind that tree will go that way. I did order I talked about this on Facebook. I went live there yesterday. I ordered, I think they're only like, let's see, 12 to 18 inches tall. So they're Thuja green giants. And they're trees that are they're great. I think they reach like 20, 25 feet tall. They're about 5 or 6 feet around, but they also grow in a uniform shape, usually. I mean, of course, variations happen. I ordered some of those, and we're gonna plant them along that fence row over there where that huge pile is to help with some of the wind coming in from that direction. But also, I forget the word, you guys helped me on Facebook yesterday, but we can take cuttings and propagate them or bring them to root from one of those trees. Like you can go out and cut a piece of blackberry tree or something like that and plant it and take it to root or get it to root, whatever the term is. That's what we're gonna do. So I would like to have those in several places around the farm. When the wind's out of the north, you can see how many trees we have. When the wind's out of the south, there's hardly any. So we just need some along that south line. And it's like they planted some poplar trees over there once upon a time, but poplar trees, from what I read, they don't live very long. They do make great firewood and they grow really quick, but those have like died and snapped over, like they're nothing. The other day I was cleaning up some over there and I was able to literally just push one down. So now of course a lot of that has to do with how the tree's taken care of when you plant it. But these trees we have coming in, down below, we're in zone 6. It is actually rare. Thank you, cowboy. It is actually rare for us to stay below 0 for more than maybe a day or two. But we've had 2 years now of some pretty extreme winters of like -12, -17. Those are evergreen trees, so they are made for that. But as saplings or seedlings, especially 12 to 18 inches tall, they may not be ready for it. I think I bought 20 of them. And worst case scenario, I'll let them be. I think they're showing up in like pint or quart sized tubs. But worst case scenario, we'll just grow them in the greenhouse all winter. We've got plenty of room. We've even got plenty of room to plant other things if we really want to. So, or grow other things, I should say. This tree, I also don't really want going to the burn pile. So we're gonna probably go ahead and buck it and get it cut up and stacked. I don't think I'll have time to split it today. Plus I just don't really feel like splitting. But yeah, let's get her down. These guys are gonna be really disappointed when this pine tree comes down because I don't think they eat the leaves off this. We'll see. Here they come. I don't think, do they eat these? They eat needles? I know goats do. Y'all don't eat that, do you? No. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You don't eat that. No way. You're just getting in there getting scratchings. Yeah, I thought so. They're just playing around. Interesting enough though, this tree did have some damage over here. And it was partly rotten. I don't know how far that went. This also did get burned months and months ago. and charred on the outside, but it looks like it was already rotten. I mean, it didn't burn it through here. It was just like a superficial burn. But either way, the reason this had to come down is because the roots are in the septic tank. If that tree stays and we put a new septic tank in there, where do you think that tree's gonna get its water? I mean, the whole tank's empty except for the rain we got the other day. Probably all summer, there was no water in there, and you could see the roots, which we have a video about. I'd love to show you how that went, bucking it and limbing it and all that stuff, but my phone just decided to update while you guys were sitting over there on the stump. No big deal, but she's down. It was super safe. That was an easy one. Straight and narrow, nothing around, nothing to hit, already leaning. Got some good wood to stack up and dry out. Obviously those aren't firewood length. Some of them will have to be cut again, but we'll stack them up over here by this mimosa tree, because we are keeping that one. I do believe that mimosa tree's coming out because it's basically being starved by all that honeysuckle that grew around it. So, and then here's the mess of all the branches from bucking it. But none of those are more than a couple inches around, maybe 3. I know some of that's good kindling, but we've got plenty of trees and we don't even have a fireplace to burn in. So I'm not trying to hang on to kindling for 2 years. I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and then, what time is it? It's 10:30 now. I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and then Jared should be here probably maybe an hour and a half, and we'll get some footage and see what he's doing today and go from there. Man, it is a glorious day, and we've got like a week of this where it's a little breezy, but this breeze that I feel right now, it's kind of that's a fall Oklahoma breeze, if I can. Okay, it's my first fall in Oklahoma, but this is a nice fall breeze. You guys keep telling me that you can see it on my face, how excited I am. You can hear it in my voice, and it's absolutely true. I'm very, very grateful and glad that that's coming through on camera. You know, I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's interesting that they call us creators. It's a term. I am creating content for you guys to watch by vlogging our lives. So nothing out here is fictional. What you see when Ray and I decided to put the house over there, and then we decided to stick it over there, or we were gonna buy a bunch of tiny homes and live in that, and then our minds changed, that's because that's real. That's life. I wanna address one more thing. On my channel and my dad's, we both got reported for no closed captions on our previous videos. I sincerely apologize to the hearing impaired that felt like they needed to report us, but I need you to understand something. When we upload videos, myself specifically, I upload the same day you guys see it, and it takes about 3 hours for YouTube to put the captions on the video. We don't do it. I don't know any creator that puts their own captions in there. YouTube automatically does it, Facebook automatically does it, and it takes a couple hours. Well, if I upload my video at 4 and it comes out at 5:30, I sincerely apologize if the captions aren't there yet. Sometimes it's even quicker, it depends on the length of the video. But I have zero control over it, other than if I wanted to adjust my schedule and upload a little bit sooner. Please understand, I'm kind of a full-time dad. My wife is amazing. She has a full-time career. I pick up all 3 boys from school, or I have one little boy with me all day. I make sure they get fed, and I film, and I edit, and I upload. And I'm not venting. What a glorious and blessed life that I'm standing in the middle of our 20 acres that is more and more beautiful every day, that all I have to worry about is just filming myself cutting a tree down. I am so grateful and so blessed, and we know it. But just bear with us. It's my life, guys, and I'm not venting at you. I'm just letting you know. I'll try harder to upload as early as I can, but sometimes it's not possible. I come out here like today. I'm filming right now. It's 10:30. Jared will be here at 11:30, 12, because he feeds like a ridiculous amount of cows on 1,000 acres before he comes out here after loading dirt in the mornings. I film until about noon, then I upload, or I should say, then I edit. As soon as it's done editing, it takes like 45 minutes for the iPad to kick it out and say, hey, your video's ready to upload. Then I upload, and then it's up to YouTube. I can no longer control anything after that point. But if I don't get it in that window, I gotta pick up at least, usually Case and Carter, or I've got Adler with me, and I might have to wait until I get home on the Wi-Fi to upload. I've seen, there's a little closed caption symbol on the videos. I've seen that take 4 and 5 hours sometimes. So, I mean, what do you do? And to whoever that was, I sincerely apologize. I got no email. I mean, grandpa of all people, guys. I know sometimes I come after you guys in the comments. I'm extremely sarcastic. I'll call you out. I'll pin the silliest comment. I know. I love the relationship I have with you guys. Good, bad, or ugly. Call it like it is. This is how I live my life. Thanks for watching. But grandpa, man, reporting grandpa. Do you really think grandpa was like, I'm not putting closed captions in this time. I'm not doing it. No, he called me because he was really upset because he got that report. And I could tell it more or less hurt his feelings. You know my dad. It more or less hurt his feelings. He was like, man, I would never leave somebody out. But that's my dad's story to tell you. I don't know if he'll even bring it up. I didn't check with him. I just wanted to mention it. So I'm gonna go edit a little bit, stand up some panels for the cows, find a way to protect that hay so they don't ingest the wraps, move the 2 bales out that they already ate, and y'all be good. Don't work too hard. Don't make it weird. And don't leave because it's not over yet. You might see Jared here in a little bit. God bless. Don't leave. Deuces.